Tesco has reported a 2.6% rise in like-for-like sales for the UK and Ireland over the Christmas period. But on the not-so-positive side of things, Marks and Spencer has reported a 2.4% fall in like-for-like clothing and home sales over Christmas, and their food sales were also down about 2%. And Debenhams also saw sales, like-for-like sales were down 3.4% over the Christmas period. Well, to talk about all of this now, retail expert Kate Hardcastle is on the line. Good morning, Kate.
Hey, good morning.
So there have been challenges across the board for the retail industry, but why does there seem to be such a discrepancy in how different retailers are performing?
Well, I think that's a really good point to highlight, and I think a lot of it comes down to how how the businesses' plans are surviving, how are they coping with a very changing consumer marketplace. If we look at businesses like John Lewis and also Tesco's, they've not been without their warnings, they've not been without their troubles. Indeed, when the value supermarkets like Aldi and Lidl really came to shake up the grocery marketplace, Tesco were in quite a big troubling challenge a few years ago. But what we've seen is that these businesses have understood the marketplace, been quicker to move perhaps than others, and have started to deliver what customers want. I think the warning we have to put out with all of these numbers is that these are sales numbers. These are not profit numbers. And we know that discounting generally, particularly in non-food, was rife right from Black Friday through to Christmas.
Taking a look across the different updates out this morning, are there some things that, say, Tesco are getting right that others, like Marks and Spencer's, are getting wrong?
I think absolutely. What we've got here, we've got John Lewis, who's provided figures saying that although it's been challenging, they're up, and Marks and Spencer's have struggled in non-food and food. Marks and Spencer's and John Lewis range of women's wear particularly is not that dissimilar. And we've heard that John Lewis, if you dig into these details, have actually done very well with their own brand, John Lewis women's wear range, versus Marks and Spencer's, who is still struggling in their own brand women's wear. And again, with food, Marks and Spencer's have struggled, but Tesco's have seen an increase. And we know that all of the supermarkets have been improving their luxury offer and their more market offer. So it's quite clear that the cannibalised marketplace is being eaten away at, as some brands have land grabbed what Marks and Spencer's glory would have been. This case also for Debenhams, who are incredibly challenged at the moment and have not had a great Christmas to recover.
Yes, and Marks and Spencer's, normally their food sales are what saves them, what keeps them going. Could this be a sign of weaker consumer confidence, or is it a sign of people just simply choosing cheaper alternatives?
Well, if we look at Aldi's figures, who had a particularly successful Christmas, they had good figures and good trading figures. And we also know that we've seen brands like Next, who within the last 3 weeks before Christmas had a good peak in terms of their Christmas sales figures. So I think it's a very mixed picture. I think consumers are very savvy. They're looking out for the best bargains. Sometimes they're having to just buy it when they've got the cash in. So maybe a lot of this came from a December salary.
Yeah.
And I think more than anything that they're prepared to try any brand, any point, to find what they want, online or offline. They're very flexible. And retailers struggle with that because they don't appeal. They don't have to cut through the pavement, the curb appeal, a lot of the time for the consumer of today.
OK, well, thank you very much for joining me this morning.